second chance tonight to get the good life right. All I need is no more holding.
Guys, welcome back to Adulting with Ashley Taliaferro, the process of putting away childish things. So if you guys seen my last video, then you know that I took the Midwives Brew after saying that I would never take it. So here I'm about to talk to you a little bit about that experience. I do have a little bit of a disclaimer to tell you guys. As you can see, I'm not pregnant anymore. So yeah, and this is 6 months after the video you guys just seen. So I'm currently 6 months, actually 6.5 months postpartum. So I had recorded those videos obviously 6.5 months ago and even more than that, and I didn't get to post them, so I wanted to kind of get them out so we could have a continuous storyline. But yeah, that was 6.5 months ago, and I'm going to talk about whether or not the Midwives Brew works. So actually, while I was pregnant, I watched a whole bunch of videos like this where, like, you know, the women would kind of be going on and on and on and on and on whether or not it worked, and I would just be trying to skip to get to the answer. So I'm going to give it to you guys right here. Does the Midwives Brew work? My answer is yes. So if that's what you came to this video for, I already gave you the answer. So now I'm going to go ahead and explain it, because I personally say yes. So I'm going to explain my experience taking it and why I say yes. There might be some people that might say for the reason that I've used it, it did not work, but I already gave you the answer, so you already know my answer. Does the Midwives Brew work? I said yes, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. So I would like for you guys to stick around while I tell you this story, because it's interesting. So anyway, I had said that I was not taking the Midwives Brew. I have videos and videos of me saying I'm not taking that. I don't like throwing up. Me going all out talking about what I'm not taking just for me to take it. When I took the Midwives Brew, I was 40 weeks and I want to say 40 weeks and 4 days, or 40 weeks and 3 days. 40 weeks and basically I was over 40 weeks. I was past my due date, and honestly, I was super huge. You know, I'll put some pictures to the side for anybody who didn't see any of my previous videos. I was super huge. When you're in your third trimester, you are very uncomfortable. Like, you're just big, and it's hard to sleep. It's hard to get comfortable. The baby is basically a full big baby that can be born. So it's moving and kicking. And my son, he kicks so much. I know he wasn't switched at birth, because even to this day, he still be kicking like crazy. He's just a kicker. But anyway, so I took the Midwives Brew because I was just tired of being pregnant. I was about to be induced. If you guys remember in my previous video, I was saying that I was going to be induced on that Monday. I took it on a Saturday, hoping that I could just get labor started, because it was my first child. Because I know a lot of you are saying, well, why didn't you just wait? You only had a little while until you had to give birth, get induced. I did not want to get induced. I was so scared. I looked up so many YouTube videos about getting induced, and it scared the mess out of me. They were talking about the Pitocin and the Foley bulb and all of that other stuff, and I was just so nervous. So I'm I just want to go into labor naturally. I wanted to have a vaginal birth, a natural birth. So I was look, I just want to get this started. He's head down, let me do what I gotta do. So that was the main reasons why I decided to renege and just go ahead and see what's up with the Midwives Brew. So anyway, if you guys see my previous video, then you know, but I'm filling in those who may not have seen it. I know the OGs, they watched it already, but I literally I took it And I was thinking a lot of the times when I watch videos, I was seeing women, they were like, oh, after an hour or after 2 hours, they seen some type of result. I didn't. So I thought that it didn't work. So then, boom, let's say I took it. I forgot around what time it was that I took it. But an hour later, I didn't feel anything. I was getting like little contractions. So you know how like when you are about to get your period and then like you can feel like it's coming because you feel like those little minor cramps, but it's not like the full things yet. That's how it was. It was like little things like that. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it. So that night, somebody look at your neighbor and say, that night. You said it, say nah. So like I said, when you're in your third trimester, you're already super uncomfortable. I was super uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep and I was starting to get pains, and those pains was like, they was actually coming a little crazier. So I came into the living room. It was like maybe 3 a.m. I came into the living room and I was just like out of it. Like I kept getting pains, and I was getting pains like I want to say like every 5 minutes, and then it went down to every 3 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I called my mom because I was basically calling her like all the time, and she like, you know, was basically keeping her ringer on because, you know, I'm her oldest daughter, her first daughter who was having a baby. So of course she knew I was going to be fine, but she was a little nervous. I was a little nervous. So we was just like in constant contact with each other. So I called her and I was like, oh, I'm getting these pains, whatever, like this, that, and third. And so she was like, all right, I'm coming. So she ended up coming to my house. And like, I would always feel bad because it's like, I didn't know, obviously it's my first baby. I didn't know when to call my mom, but I would call her because I was like, well, this is the most I've been getting pains this consistent. It was like an hour, like boom, boom, boom. And they were starting to be in a consistent pattern, getting lower from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Then there was like one time I had a really bad one. I couldn't even talk. And it was like 10 seconds long, 15 seconds long. Like it was like intense. So I called her and I was like, well, you don't have to come if you don't think it is. She's like, I'm coming. So I was like, okay, fine. So she came and I was still having the pains. Even when she came, you know, she was telling me to breathe it out, count it out. So eventually they're like, okay. I called my husband. I mean, you know, he was asleep. So I let him know, like, I'm having pains. My mom is coming. He was like, oh, snap. And he was ready to like get the bags and stuff. Cause, you know, at this point, me and him was like ready for the baby to come. So I took oh yeah, so where did I laugh you? Oh yes, anyway, boop, the bag. He was like getting the bags together and stuff like that. So we ended up calling the doctor, and I told the doctor what was going on, and she was like, you know what, like come to the hospital. So I was like, oh, okay, like, so then I was like a little nervous, but like, you know, I was actually excited because obviously I was ready to have the baby. So we go to hospital, and when we go to the hospital, they're like, you're not in labor. I was like, what? I was in so much pain. Like, even like when they were like, when I first came to the hospital, this was like, I think like around 5 o'clock a.m. 5 o'clock a.m. that I actually ended up in between 5 and 6 a.m. that I actually ended up going to the hospital. And like, I was there, you know, they checked me in, they did all the works, the paperwork, whatever. And, you know, they checked me, and I was already like nervous about them checking me because it like hurt every single time. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. It hurt, and they checked me. And so, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, whatever. So then they were like, yeah, you're still not really dilated. Like, I think my cervix was closed the whole time. My cervix was finally open. So, but I wasn't really dilated. They could just see that there was like a little movement or whatever. So then I was like, no way, like, what was all that pain? And you're telling me I'm not dilated, but you could see that my cervix is just starting to open. I'm like, what? So I was already so mad. I'm like, dang, like at this point it's Sunday. So, you know, I was scheduled to be induced on Monday at 9 p.m. So I'm like, all right, bet, whatever. I go back home and I was so sad. And then like I remember everybody at my church was kind of like, because basically by the time my mom came to bring us back, because it was a Sunday, so we go to church, church was over. So they're looking in the car, they're like, Ashley, what's Ashley doing here? Because my mom and Hakeem, that's my husband's name. Yeah, so you guys know my husband's name is Hakeem. So when I say Hakeem, I don't want to keep saying my husband. You know what I'm talking about. So my mom and Hakeem, they had texted a church group chat and was like, Ashley's finally going to the hospital. Like, we think she's in labor or whatever. So they were like, I thought you were supposed to be having a baby. What are you doing here? So anyway, I was like, yeah, they sent me back, false alarm, you know, whatever like that. Looks like I'm going to be induced tomorrow at 9 p.m. And they were like, no, my mom was like adamant, like, no, you're not gonna be induced at 9 p.m. You're gonna whatever, because she also heard that it hurts a lot. So I go to by my mom's, and basically like she like kept all my bags and stuff in the car. She's like, I'm telling you, you're going back to the hospital, whatever. So I was just like, okay. I was discouraged. I'm just like, I just want to have the baby and he don't want to come out. So anyway, I go to the hospital. I mean, I'm at my mom's again at night, and it's crazy because this boy, he be up at night. He is like, when he was in my belly, he would always be moving it the most at night. And it was so funny because a few people would tell me that if they move a lot at night, then that means that they're going to be up at night. And this child be up at night. Yes, indeed. So I go to the, he be up at night. So I go to the bathroom, and literally like, the pain was like boom, 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 boom. It was hitting me. I was feeling, oh my goodness, the pain was like really intense. So I go, I'm already at my mom's. I'm literally in the bathtub. Like I still had my pants down. I didn't even put my underwear up yet. Like I could not. I was just in so much pain. So my mom told me to go in the bathtub. I go in the bathtub, and you know, they put water to kind of, I guess, help soothe me. One of my cousins and friend, Bianca, she was like helping me and stuff. Like I'm in the bathroom, and like every few minutes I'm like, like I'm going crazy because like I'm just in a lot of pain. Like I guess he was moving again. And so again, it's at night. I think it's probably like 11 p.m. on Sunday, and I was supposed to remember being induced on the Monday. So I'm back at the hospital. I was like, yo, like I was really trying so hard to wait it out, because I'm like, I don't want to be that person that comes to the hospital multiple times, like, and it's not time and I gotta keep being sent home. So I go to the hospital again, and so the second time I went to the hospital, that's the video that you guys seen. That's the video that you guys seen. I'll like put a small little clip of it right here. But in the previous video of me at the hospital, that is me going the second time. And when I went that second time, they were like, at first they didn't know if they wanted to keep me because they checked me and I was a centimeter. I think I was like a centimeter to 2 centimeters. And they were like, trying to see if like they should see if I like dilate anymore at home or just keep me. But then they seen, they're like, she's supposed to be induced, because I came there at 11 or 12. By the time they like checked me and did everything, I was it was already Monday. It was probably like 1 a.m. on Monday, and I was supposed to be induced at 9 p.m. So they're like, she was supposed to be induced anyway. Like the doctor said to just keep me, especially since I kept having pain. So and I ended up being actually, I forgot the word, is it like admitted into the hospital, you know, and everything. So in regards to, I would go into the whole labor and delivery part, but I don't want this video to be like crazy long because I want to keep y'all attention. So I'll do that in my next video. But the reason why I say the Midwives Brew works is because let me tell you, like, and that's why I said, like, some people might say, oh, well, it didn't work because I didn't go into like labor. But for me personally, it got things moving because nothing was happening. Nothing. Like, I would be going to the doctor 36 weeks, 37 weeks, 38 weeks, 39 weeks, 40 weeks. My cervix was closed. It was not even a little bit open. He was in the same spot, head down, but he was not coming to the birth canal. So like, me taking the Midwives Brew, the fact that like I actually started getting contractions, I was barely even getting contractions before I took it. I started getting contractions, and then I ended up being, by the second time I went to the hospital within the same day, I ended up being like 1 to 2 centimeters. And I feel like it probably would have worked more efficiently if the baby was actually trying to push through in the birth canal. So I will go and let you guys know about my labor and delivery story and what that was like. And I will also have pictures of the baby and that one. Thank you guys so much for making it this far, if you have made it this far. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. Peace.